Okay, another little video from Classic Jets at Abingdon, and I'm here with Ian Bailey, just looking at these his lovely Hawk, and thought I'd grab Ian while he was fiddling about with it, doing something or other, and just ask him a couple of questions about how he gets this scale finish, because there's an art to getting this stuff to look right, and to my mind that just looks right. The right amount of weathering and everything else. So I've got Ian here. So Ian, tell us how you go about doing getting the scale finished and the weathering right.
Okay, right. Start off with your basic airframe. Make sure it's nice and clean. A bit of primer on it. I use cellulose paints for my colours. Right. And after I've done the cellulose paint finish on it, we then decide to go and weather it. My preferred weathering method, right, is to use white spirit, which doesn't react with cellulose paints, and black enamel, matte black or gloss black, either or. Mix a little bit that in with your turpentine or your white spirit, dip a rag into that mess, and then wipe the model down gently.
So can you show us where?
All the panel lines,
yeah.
Wiping backwards like this, into the panel lines, into the rivets. Okay, you can see how the rivets are highlighted now. Wipe it down. Same with the wing. Direction must be with the airflow. As you can see from the vortex generators here, you can see the dirt coming off them quite nicely where it's flown through a rainstorm, etc, etc. Leave it on for perhaps an hour to 2 hours, no longer, otherwise it will set and it's quite difficult to wipe off. Now, the secret now is to get a clean rag, just a gentle amount of white spirit on it, just a little dab, and then wipe off all the black stuff that you've just put on. And as you wipe it off, if you do it in one direction only, it should highlight the panel lines quite nicely like this. It should stay within the rivets, but leave your flat surfaces relatively clean.
And when you do that, when you put the black on initially, does it all look a bit of a mess?
It does.
Does it look like you've ruined the model?
It does. it really does. It could make one weep. However, all is not lost. Right. The white spirit doesn't react with the cellulose, so if you're not happy with what you've done, it's quite simply a case of wiping off what you've put on and starting afresh. And you might start off with a very dirty model that you've overdone the dirtying on, and a couple of quick wipes and you're back to pristine again and you can start again.
Excellent.
Now the secret of weathering is don't do too much. Do a little bit at a time. Put the weathering on, start the wiping off process, and then go away for at least an hour or two, and then come back. And if you do that, you'll realise you've overdone it or underdone it. But if you start doing the weathering process and aim to complete it straight away, right, you'll finish up with the right mess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you've got the weathering done, and the way I've done it on mine is a little bit subtle. It's a service aircraft. Okay, so they did keep them clean, but it does get a bit dirty over time.
Yeah.
What you do is then, you've got your weathering on, you've got your bit of dirt in there, you can then start putting the oil streaks on from the appropriate places.
Oh, okay.
Now the oil streaks is just here. You can see a little bit there, and you'll see that's slightly gloss.
Yeah.
And you can buy from the model railway suppliers little bottles of rust stains, fuel stains, any other weathering. You can put that on with a fine brush, put it on with a cotton wool pad,
yeah.
You know, one of these cotton pads that you shove in your ears and such like, you know. And
oh, great.
Away you go.
And the cockpit detail, that's always something that fools me. I seem to lose patience at that point, but that all looks stunning in there.
Right, well look, black paint, and then get a brush, camel hair brush, cut 70% of the bristles off, so you're left with a short stubby bit, and then dry brush, dip that in a little bit of silver paint, wipe the most of it off on a bit of paper, and then just carefully just dry brush like this, and it'll leave silver in where the corners are, but not affect the black.
Look at that, that's lovely.
Yeah, so you get a nice situation where the seat's been in and out a few times and it's been serviced by the armourers,
Yeah.
etc, etc. Yeah.
Cool. And what kit did you start with on this?
What model?
Yeah.
This is an Airworld 1.4.5 scale T1 Hawk. I obtained it 2010, I think it was, and I finally got round to building it around about 2016.
Oh, there's never any rush with these things, though, is there?
No, I was too busy building other people's aircraft, you know, and,
Which you do superbly.
But this was a treat to myself when I retired from work, and I'd seen one or two other of these Airworld Hawks flying. They looked absolutely superb, they looked just about right, and when I started flying this, it just confirmed my my beliefs. It's an absolutely superb machine to fly. It's just so stable. Fair enough, I cheat a bit, there is a gyro in it,
Yeah.
but no.
Well, that's what's needed these days, I think.
We've now done 70 flights on this in last year and this year, and yeah.
And the kit comes with a rivet detail on the back.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
For a change, it's not too bad. My only criticism is these panels are clinker built. What they've done, they've started off with a wooden plug. They've used aluminium, either litho plate or thin alley sheeting, and started from the back, working forwards. So they've stuck this panel on, then they've stuck this panel on. It's overlapped.
Yeah.
Now the full size is not like that. It's all butt joints.
Okay.
All the hatches and catches are all flush with the airframe. In
Yeah.
this case, they've just stuck them on afterwards, an afterthought,
Okay.
and it looks terrible. However, it's not what I would do. However, a bit of paint and it's not that apparent, but I know they're there.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I was doing this myself from scratch, everything would be flush as per the full size.
Yeah. Okay, that's lovely. Thanks for that, Ian.
No
And happy weathering if you have a go at it. And some brilliant tips there from Ian. Thanks very much.